Well, I think it's obviously in the history of Maine football, the first team to go undefeated. And there's a number of significant names and some great accomplishments and things of note, all associated with that 1951 football team. It starts with the coaches. It was Harold Westerman's first year as a head coach at the University of Maine. He got off on the right foot, obviously, with a great season. Tubby Raymond, who I personally coached against during the 80s and 90s, and even in this millennium, as the head coach of Delaware, was an assistant on Coach Westerman's staff, as was Sam Cizak, who everybody around here recognizes as a major name in Maine athletic history. Some very significant players on the team. The Butterfield brothers. Jack became a baseball coach here, and Jim, a great football coach at Ithaca, were members of that team. Ed Bogdanovich, a war veteran, also one of the great running backs in the history of the program, was a key back on that football team. Harry Richardson, who was a dear and personal friend of mine, a great mentor to me when I first started coaching here, a great supporter of our program, who was the major fundraiser and contributor to our locker room here, was a tackle on that team. And Harry used to brag to me about wearing number 68, which I just had a hard time thinking he was an O-lineman because of his size. Veteran of the war was Gene Sturgeon, who in fact it was just received a nice note from him last week, wishing us well for the season, and just sent it back to him. I know that those guys are getting up in age, as we all do some at one point in our lives, but just feeling his support for our current team, and the fact that he played football such a long time ago, but is still very much immersed in Black Bear athletics, Black Bear football, is really a neat feeling to have. There are just so many names that strike you. Of note is the fact that 5 of the members of the team were veterans of World War II, came home from that war and went to school and played football here at the University of Maine. And it's really neat to be able to recognize and honor them. We did that last year. They were champions, and they came up on campus for a special weekend, and to recognize them as one of the top 10 teams, top 10 moments in our history, I think is very much justified and deserving.